Well, your boy Pat McAfee always has much to say. That's what happens when you have to fill 3 hours of television content, streaming content. We don't do that much, and I know how that goes. But he had much to say about Kirby's extension, and I thought it was kind of funny because he recalled this while he was talking about it. He picked Alabama to win the SEC championship. I don't know necessarily why, but he was correct about that. And he was talking about how Georgia Gant fans had been giving him grief the whole year and this, that, and the other. Pat, here's what you have to understand about Georgia folks. Generally speaking, they like to be, like hated on, like they're fans of it. They won't leave Corso to pick the other team. Uh, there's a lot of misunderstanding about why David Pollock is not with ESPN anymore. There's this view that he got cut so they could hire Pat McAfee and all this stuff. I mean, whatever. That's not how it necessarily works. But so yeah, man. I mean, you can't be a fan of everybody. And that's what Pat McAfee seems like a lot of times in college football is he's a fan of everybody. Bro, you can't, yeah, he knows better than that. I mean, you can't be a Pitt and West Virginia fan. But he said that Kirby just got the bag. Here's the quote. He said, just got a huge old bag. You deserve it. And then he started talking about the Georgia fans. He said, it is an old school feel. I love that Kirby is getting what he deserves. This is good for college football. I don't think it's good or bad for college football. I think it's just what it is. I mean, the best coach left standing right now, currently, is Kirby. He could get replaced. He could get replaced by Ryan Day, by Steve Sarkisian. I don't think anybody would really make this argument, but I will say it, which is Kyle Whittingham at Utah is really good. He's just not going to win the national championship. I don't think anybody would think that. I think Dabo has an argument. I don't think he wins that argument. I don't think that anybody really thinks that Lane Kiffin is. I think that Brian Kelly. We got to see more, right? And I think Kalen DeBoer obviously is in that universe too. You got Dan Lanning, so there's plenty of people that could pass him. I don't think it will be, you know, I don't think it will be Lane. I don't think it will be James Franklin. I don't think it will be that group. Brian Kelly could get it going at LSU. He could get it going. We'll see. Ryan Day at Ohio State. I mean, he should get it going at Ohio State. But is it good for college football? I don't. I mean, I don't think yes or no. I don't think you can say, "Well, this is good." The guy is, he certainly deserves the money. I don't think it's a bargain necessarily. Everybody's so quick. Why is everybody gotta like talk about it's particularly in like the Atlanta media talk about how much a bargain this is for Georgia. Bro, the guy's getting paid $13 million to win national championships. And again, like this is not. I mean, Kirby has said this. I was brought here to win championships. No question, man. And he's done that twice. And the expectation will be that that will continue. It will not be a quote bar. They don't know what they're talking about. First of all, in terms of is something of value. I guarantee you, none of y'all know what the budget of the University of Georgia's athletic department is to begin with. Secondly, what is the budget for for the University of Georgia anyway? So like, what is a bargain? Like, how are you even determined? Why are you even saying that? God, I mean, that's the part that pisses me off. I wouldn't say, but like some of y'all you're just coming from complete. You're not informed, generally speaking. So $13 million. I mean, what percent of Georgia's athletic department budget is that? What is that compared to a CEO of a company making? What are you talking about bargain? Do you even know what that? That's the part to me that like y'all don't study the financial side of this stuff. It is a good deal. It is not a bargain. He is being appropriately paid for what his past indicates his future will be. Okay, all of the time. Pat did not say it was a bargain that I heard. So I'm not talking about Pat McAfee right now. For those of you who like to confuse what I say, what I'm saying is, don't everybody shouldn't be so. Everybody is people in the media that cover Georgia. This is really people more on the periphery than the beat folks. You know, is something. I mean, has Kirby done an outstanding job at Georgia? The answer to that is yes, no question. Is he being overpaid? I don't think he's being overpaid. Period. Is it a bargain? I wouldn't be so quick to say that. I mean, $13 million a year, that's about $1 million a month, by my quick, I went to school in DeKalb County, so public school, so I might not be very good at math. But, um, you know, is Dabo a bargain anymore at Clemson? Is he a good deal? No, he's not. And they have a much smaller budget than Georgia. So, you know, the determination of whether a contract is good or not should be looked at over the breadth of the contract, not just a small particular amount of time. What I'm about to say is not going to happen, but it could. We're in a universe of things can happen. Georgia could go 0-12 next year. I mean, that's not happening, right? I mean, Georgia can, but what you want to avoid is like honestly, what's happened at Clemson, which is you had a coach, you have a coach who has been extremely successful about half a decade ago, and since that half decade, since Trevor Lawrence is gone and Etienne's gone, Lawrence, all those guys. Well, naturally, he's not. Well, not naturally, but he's not replaced them with really good players. Okay, he keeps talking about like there's this guy back. Y'all can't see it. There's this guy back here who is like, I can't see it, and he's really distracting me. I can't. But he's like, what is it called when you glide over the ocean? Besides being a psychopath, where is he? I'm going. I have to do this now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is just that we're doing it live. Where is this guy? This is why you should never. Where are you, man? He's gliding over the ocean, and he keeps making a bunch of noise wherever he went to. I swear, now I got to show y'all. There's the sun. Maybe I just can't see it. Well, I look like a crazy person right now. Well, you can't see him. I promise you, he's out there. I see him right there. Where is? Where is it? He's right there. Oh, there he is. Okay, right there, right there, like the weatherman. Y'all can't see it. He looks like a bird, but he's very loud with his. He's like, listen. There's a lot of things I would do in life. One of them is not like that, like where you're up and you're controlling the thing electronically in the air. No, we let pilots do the flying around here in the Leggy household. I guess what the part for me that is, you know, you don't want to get is a situation where you've overpaid a coach, and y'all, we've seen this constantly, and this is not going to. I really my expectation and suspicion and opinion is this will not happen with Kirby Smart, okay? But we've seen this at Auburn, Penn State, uh, where you get into like the Gus Malzahn zone, where the coach is pretty good, and he wins enough over the rivals and all this stuff. And the guy's won a national championship. He plays for SEC championship. Not won a national championship. Played for SEC. I said one played for a national championship, won an SEC championship, stuff like that. And you get into like that zone, and then the returns start teetering off. I mean, I remember when everybody's talking about Jimbo. I don't think anybody ever called that a bargain, but no one was questioning. No one was questioning longevity. Would this work in the end? It was pretty clear pretty quick it wasn't working. It was pretty clear pretty quick it wasn't working. Within, I don't know, a couple years, it was like, this guy is like not great, not a great fit. So, is it great for college football that coaches are getting paid the way they are? I think the one problem in the near future that needs to be considered as well is, I mean, inevitably, these players are going to get paid from the schools. And, I don't know what sort of loopholes are going to be created at the federal level to make this not be, I don't know what will happen to allow all this to happen, but it will. And that will complicate things because, in the near future, Georgia's budget will be about $200 million for athletics. Um, and part of that 200 is going to have to start paying for players. Now, right now an out-of-state player costs Georgia, the university gets paid about 50 G's, something like that, for an out-of-state football player. And then there's all sorts of stuff these guys are getting, but it's not cash. They're not getting paid cash. So what's going to happen in the future when your 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 payroll is, I don't know, let's just say it's $8 million or $15 million. Well, if your coach and your players are $30 million, they start that's $15 million you didn't already pay for. So you've been getting that free for decades, not about centuries, but decades. So then the math changes here in the near future for college football, and that the best coach is getting paid the most money totally makes sense. That is it good for college football? I mean, I don't know. I don't know why. I think people just say that sometimes. I am curious. I'm not like running Pat McAfee down or anything. I wonder why you'd say. I just sometimes guys that talk a lot, like me, you say stuff sometimes it's just a throwaway line. I do wonder if this is good for college football. And like, can you expand on that? Like, exactly what do you mean by that? Do you mean that he's not going to go to the NFL? Because I don't think he's going to go to the NFL. Like, I think that's what Pat was talking about more than anything. But I didn't think that was really a concern. But it's everybody else is not in the position that Georgia and Kirby are in. I mean, most places are in one of two places. They think they have their guy and they're going to fire him, or they know they don't have their guy and they're going to fire him. That's where that's where most people are at. I mean, you look at SC, Penn State. They thought they had their guy and they're probably going to fire him. I mean, Oklahoma. What's going to happen with Venables? I mean, I don't think it's going to go great, but what's going to happen there? Is he going to get fired? Is he going to get pushed out? And like, this cycle never ends. There are not a lot of Nick Sabans, okay, out there. They just don't. They're just not around. I mean, I think Sarkisian could be good. That guy's been fired before. Dan Lanning, it seems like, could be good. Kalen DeBoer, now he's in a different situation. So I would avoid all I can. I've learned as I gotten older to be skeptical of sweeping generalizations. Pat's probably talking here about him not going to the NFL, but I don't think that's a real thing. I don't think that um, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities that a lot of these college coaches could go to the NFL in theory. I mean, Lane has been an NFL coach. I think Dabo would kick that around a little bit, to be honest. I don't know if he'd be successful. I think it'd be tough for him. But James Franklin, could he check out? Lincoln Riley, could he check out? There's a lot of stresses on these guys. Is the 13 million? Here's the better question, though. I mean, and is this a bargain for Kirby? See, I'm not sure for him, and I mean this in all sincerity, speaking as a father and a husband too. The money, I mean, like, that's great, but it doesn't buy more time, and that's the part that I think that people maybe see it's a bargain for Georgia. I'm not sure I find that to necessarily be true, but that's another discussion for another time. I talked about it earlier. Is this a bargain for Kirby? Man, I don't know. You know, like, the older he gets, the more he can't really, capture time again. And that's the part to me that I'm not sure it's a great, great deal for him. I mean, clearly he wants to be at Georgia. I'm just saying, you know, yeah, I'm just saying that you can't buy the time. Now, you can take helicopters and you can go, and when it's family time, and that's it. But I mean, he's got to do a lot, and that's the hard part. That's what the money's for. The money. The hard part is, you know, I guess the pressure. I mean, I don't know about that part, but I mean, I couldn't even speak to that part. But yes, they're paying him to win national championships, but that's kind of, even for me, the way I talk all the time, that's harsh, right? It's for the consistent winning. Something he said they've really done a good job of over time, which is true. I'm going to try to show you the sunset. God, I can't do anything right. And then I'm going to check out of this video. There's your sunset. Don't say I never did anything for you.